Hi, I'm Johan and welcome to the next video in our Objective-C tutorial series. In this video, we're going to dive into object-oriented programming in Objective-C. We're actually going to focus on classes and objects. So, object-oriented programming, or OOP, is a programming paradigm that uses objects and classes to structure software. It makes code more modular, more reusable, and also easier to manage. Objective-C is actually an object-oriented language. And that is because Objective-C is actually an extension of the C language itself. So in OOP, so in object-oriented programming, classes are the blueprints for creating objects, and they also define properties and methods. The objects are the instances of the classes. The properties represent the data or the state of an object, and methods define the behavior or the action an object can perform. So let's start by declaring a class. So we're going to create a new file. We're going to say an Objective-C file, and we're going to call this person. Okay. Then we're going to create another file, and this is actually going to be the header file. And we're going to call this person. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to the person age, that is this one. And we're actually going to get rid of our friends over here. Then we're going to do import. We're actually going to import foundation/foundation.h. And under there, we're going to actually create the interface. So that's the class definition. This is going to be a person. And the person is going to be of NS object. Okay. So we're going to give it two properties. So the first thing is going to be add property. And we're actually going to call non-atomic, comma, strong, ns string is going to be name, just like this. Okay. So next, we're going to do the same. We're going to say property. We're also going to say non-atomic, comma, and instead of strong, we're going to take a sign. And we're going to say ns string. You know what? Let's actually do ns integer. And this is going to be h. Okay. So in the person.h file, the header file, this is actually where we declare the interface of the person class. The interface keyword is used to declare the class, and it's followed by the class name and the superclass, in this case NS object. We declare two properties, name of NS string and age of NS integer. The property keyword is used to declare the property. Non-atomic and strong are property attributes that define memory management behavior. So strong, this has to be a sign. So strong actually means that it's going to be saved in memory. And we actually use a sign for primitive types like NS integer. So then we go to the person.m. And in here, we're actually going to do import. We're going to import person.h. And under there, we're going to call implementation. And we're going to say person. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Then we're going to take the methods. We're going to get rid of this. And now we can actually call minus void. No, let's actually put this in between parentheses. Void display info. Display info, just like this. Let's open this one up. And now we can say nslog. We're going to say add name. Let's do this capital name. This is going to be like this. After that, we're going to do age. Oh, we need to do it inside the string. Age. Going to be percentage LD. And out there, we're going to do comma. We're going to do self.name. And we're going to do I'm going to create long self.age. Okay, so now inside here, we declare the method displayInfo to display the person's information. The person.m is the implementation file where we define the behavior of the class. And add implementation is the keyword used to define the implementation of a class. It's followed by the class name. We implement displayInfo method to print the person's name and age using nslog. So now we can actually go to main and we can actually create an object. So above here, above the calculator, we're going to do add import. And we're actually going to import the person.age. And for now, let's actually get rid of everything that's inside our auto release pool. And now we can actually create an object. So we can actually say person. Then we're going to create an object like this as person is equal to. And in there, we're going to say person alloc. Then we're going to say init. Perfect. And now we can actually set the properties of the person. So we're going to say person.name is equal to. And this is going to be Johan. And then we're going to say person.age is equal to 32. And let's actually use some semicolons here, otherwise it is complaining. Okay, so now we can actually call the method. So what we're going to do, we're going to do like this. And we're actually going to call person. And then we're going to call display info. Let me think. No visible at interface person for the class the selector. Okay, I think we made a mistake. Let's go to the H file really quick. Ah, and I already see what the problem is. We actually put... Let me see. We actually forgot in the person.age. We actually have to declare the method. So we can actually do minus void display info. And now when we go back, that should actually be fixed. When we go back to the main. Yeah, exactly. So now when we run this, replace. Oh, for the people who are not running on Xcode 16, I think replace is actually fairly new. So if you don't see that, don't worry about it. It's just something that we do. So now, name Johan, age 32. So this is actually pretty cool. So we actually initialize an object. So we create an object, person. We assign values to the properties of the person. And after that, we call the person and we call it display info. In Swift, this would actually look a little bit like person dot display info. This is actually how it would look in Swift, and this is how it looks in Objective-C. Pretty cool. Okay, so in Objective-C, properties provide a convenient way to access and modify an object's data. They automatically generate getter and setter methods, and behind the scenes, properties are backed by instance variables known as ivars. When you declare a property using the addProperty keyword, the compiler automatically generates an instance variable, so the ivar, to store the property value, and it automatically generates a getter and a setter method to access and modify the property's value. Okay, so in modern Objective-C, properties are automatically synthesized, meaning the compiler automatically creates the ivar and getter and setter methods. However, you can also manually synthesize properties if needed. So what we can do, we can actually go to the person.m, and then over here, we can actually manually synthesize them. So what we can do, we can actually say add synthesize name is equal to underscore name add synthesize. Oh, we forgot the semicolon. At synthesize age is equal to underscore age. So The syntax of the synthesized property name is equal to Ivor name. That's actually something that we did over here. Allows you to specify the name of the instance variable. In this case, underscore name and underscore age are the instance variables that back the name and age properties. You can actually compare this a little bit to initializing, right? So this is actually what we also do in Swift. Actually initializing the name and the age, and then they're equal to self. So that's actually something that we also do. Let me see. Okay, so in Objective-C, methods are classified into instance methods and class methods. This is something that we learned in the last video. Instance methods operate on the instance of a class, while class methods operate on the class itself. So instance methods are defined by using the minus sign before the method name, and class methods are defined by a plus sign for the method name. So, and this was a little bit on classes and objects. So we actually created the class of person, and later in main we actually created an object like this, and we actually assigned some values to it. In the last video we actually looked into class methods and instance methods, and it actually works perfectly together. So for example, the display info, this is actually an instance method because we actually have to instance it like this, right? So I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it and that you learned something. If you have any questions, come to the Discord channel or down in the description below, or description into the comments below. In the next video, we are going to talk about inheritance and polymorphism, so that we actually can inherit certain values from a parent class. That's also going to be really, really cool. So thanks for watching, and I see you in the next video.